Hi everyone, Letty here. Today I'm going to share with you a craft with me video where we make project number 5 from the July 2021 Echo Park Clubby P box. We're going to make a mini envelope album. So again, this was the Echo Park Clubby P. This is the July 2021 box. The collection was Pool Party by Echo Park. Here's what I have remaining. Very few stickers, just a few here and there, odds and ends on the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I do have just a few cut-aparts left over. I have a little bit of ephemera, just a little bit. I have one puffy sticker, too funny. And then a little bit of washi. Actually, it's a brand new roll of washi. And then some chipboard accents, about half of the pack. And then I do have about 15 sheets of the 6x6 paper pad and just a little bit of scraps from the 12 by 12 sheets. So that's what I have left. Let's put this aside, and we are going to start by using some of these 6x6 sheets and the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. So the size, because my paper is 6x6, the size that I'm going to use is what would fit a 3x4 card. We're going to score at 2 5/8. You'll need your paper trimmer, and I'm just basically going to make this a true 6x6 paper with my paper trimmer, and I'm going to use 5 sheets for this envelope album. You can do as many as you want, but I'm only going to use 5 for this. So I picked out five of the 6x6 sheets, and then again, I'm going to cut it down to a true 6x6. So I'm just going to take off that little extra strip of the branding at the top. So I'm going to cut it down to a true 6x6 paper. Now, if you didn't have the 6x6 and all you had was 12 by 12, you could also cut them down to 6x6 in size, and you could still make this project. And definitely save your scraps. You just never know what you can make with those scraps. So I usually save them. So I have my 5 sheets of paper, 6x6. Now, again, on my envelope punch board, the way that it works is you take which size paper you have, which in this case is 6x6. So my score line is 2 5/8. So I'm going to stick the paper and I'm going to put it all the way up until the 2 5/8 mark, do the notch or the punch, and then do the score line. And then you flip it to the left. You align the score line to that little bitty mark there. You do a punch, and then you do the score again, and you just keep rotating until you do all 4 sides. So you notch it, you score it, and then you turn it. You align it, you're going to notch it, and then you're going to score it. So here is our little pattern. You can see there where you have all 4 of the score lines and then the 4 notches from that little notch center thing in the middle. Super, super easy. And I really like this We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board tool. It is so versatile. I love making envelopes with this board. I just find it so easy to use. And what's neat is that it gives you the little bitty grid at the bottom where you can choose whatever size envelopes you need to make, depending on whatever size card or item that you have to, make an envelope for. So it's kind of neat because you just pick out, you measure your card, and then you find the measurement of the envelope you'll need, and it'll tell you what size paper you'll need, and then it'll also tell you what mark to score it at. So here I have all of my envelopes scored. You'll have a little bit of trash left over. You can just toss it and recycle. Now, the other side of this board is a corner rounder. So then you flip it around, and you see how I just rounded that corner? You're going to go ahead and just do that for all of the 4 sides of these envelopes. Now, there's times where if you're making a regular envelope, you don't have to necessarily score all of the corners because some of them are going to be covered up. But at this stage, it's just easier for me to just go ahead and just corner round them all. It's super easy. And I think it does like a 1/2-inch quarter round. So here we have our envelopes ready to be assembled. So then you just fold and varnish on all of the score lines. And so it is super easy to make these little envelopes. And they turn out so cute. Here you go. This is our little template. That's our envelope. Don't you just love this tool? It's amazing. So I'm going to just go really quickly and finish folding and vernishing all the score lines on these envelopes. Because basically what you'll do is you will prep the 5 envelopes. You're going to basically turn them into envelopes, and then we're going to glue them together in a way that they're all stuck together to form a little mini album. This is not a new process or trick. Everybody's done this. Super easy. I am using my adhesive, my tape runner adhesive, and I'm just going to go ahead and just glue the 2 little flaps together with the top flap and basically form our envelope. Super easy. Super basic. Again, I'm just making these little envelopes. Now you do want to pay attention to your patterns. So that's one of the neat things about this is when you fold it, just double check to see you have kind of two ways to do your envelope. So just make sure you're doing them the correct way. So all of my envelopes are complete now. I did not do anything with the top flap. The way that it works is you're going to want to pick out your front and your back of your album first. And that's important because you're going to have to make sure that you glue them a certain way. So you pick whichever one you want for your cover and your back and just save them. I'm also using the Barely Art wet glue to glue this. You are going to want to use wet glue for this next part of the process because it'll give you a little bit more wiggle room. So the way that it works is you basically insert one envelope flap into the other envelope, just like this. And so now, of course, to keep it together, you're going to want to add some wet glue. And again, the wet glue is going to give you a little bit of extra wiggle room to make sure that you got it all the way in. One of the things that I do recommend is do a test run first before you glue, just like you saw me do. Make sure that it fits all the way in and then go ahead and add your glue. So that way, in case you do need to trim the flap or anything like that, you'll have plenty of room to do so. So, and you've got your two little sides, one's flat, one's an open pocket. So then you do the same thing. You fold the front of the flap of the envelope back, make sure that it fits inside the hole of the envelope or the inside of the envelope. And you can pick and choose. You see here where I switched it from the watermelon to the striped. I just thought that the watermelon didn't go as well as the stripes do. So I went ahead and switched them out. No big deal. That's one of the beauties of testing it out first before you actually put the glue. So, and then you just keep going. You just keep inserting the envelopes inside each and every one until you get to the very last one. So just like you see here, I'm just testing it out, making sure I have plenty of wiggle room. I add my glue to the flap and then go ahead and glue it inside. And again, you're going to add the glue to the inside part of the flap because you're going to have the outside of the envelope facing out. So now on your last envelope, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to want to actually turn it to where your pocket is on the inside. So on all the other ones, you had your pocket facing out and you had the flat surface kind of facing in. Here's where you're going to want to flip it. So you're going to want to make sure you do this. And the reason for that is because you don't want to have another opening or open pocket on the back side of this little book. So you're going to put them on the inside. So now you saw there where mine didn't really fit really well. So I went ahead and just trimmed a little bit of the flap off. No big deal. Again, this is the beauty of testing it before you finish putting that glue. And so you'll see here where in this side, I actually have two pockets. And then now for the spine, what you're going to want to do, and you're just going to want to make sure you press down on that spine, all that glue, make sure that it's holding in place. Now, before you add glue to the back flap, which is basically from your front envelope to go all the way around to the back, you're going to go ahead and just kind of fold it around. I usually use a bone folder, just kind of help score it a little bit. Then you add your glue and then you just kind of hold it down. Super easy. Our foundation for the mini album is ready. And again, this is just simple, basic process. So you see here, you have a solid side and you have a pocket, and then the very back, you have two pockets. So that's our foundation for the mini album. The next thing we'll do is we'll just decorate. So I'm just going to quickly take a few minutes to just decorate. And again, the cut aparts are going to be great for this. And you pretty much could use, because this was going to hold a 3x4, you can actually put your 3x4 either on the solid flats or areas, or you could stick them in the pockets as well. You've got lots of wiggle room here. And if you used bigger envelopes or made bigger envelopes, you could actually use bigger cut aparts. Now, you could also put a ribbon for a closure, kind of like what I showed in one of my previous videos. You just basically glue your ribbon down, make sure you leave it a little bit of extra excess, and then glue something over the ribbon to help support it. And you could just tie it as a closure. I'm actually not going to put any ribbon on this project today. I'm going to leave it open. Mine, as you can see, is going to be kind of flat, so I'm not too concerned with having it too, open or chunky. But if you definitely want to put a ribbon to try to help close it a little bit more, you absolutely could. So I'm just going in and I'm adding some of these 3x4 cut aparts to the inside of my albums, again, on those flat sides, which is like the back of the envelope. or the front of the envelope, I guess. And then I don't really like the way that the envelope kind of, the pocket part of it shows. So what I usually do is I try to cover up a little bit of that. I still leave it open to where you could access the pocket, but I don't leave it just kind of full, showing the envelope piece. Now you could absolutely just leave it just like that, but I am kind of covering it up. And because I want to try to use all of my, you know, stickers and cut aparts and everything for this kit before I finish this out, I'm just kind of decorating a little bit here and there, as much as, you know, I can. Now you see here, I'm finally taking out this washi, finally going to use it. And then I had one measly little strip of washi in the whole album. So I still have a ton of washi left, but it's fun. Now I'm just adding cut aparts, again, covering up the little flaps of the pocket from the envelope so they don't really show, but still leaving that pocket, adding my stickers. Now these are so versatile, these albums, because again, you can make them any size. I basically made some small little bitty mini envelopes that fit a 3x4, but you could use big envelopes. You could make your own with the We Are Memory Keepers punch board, or envelope punch board. You could also buy envelopes, like the store-bought envelopes, and just make them out of that as well. And you can use any size envelope. I've made mini albums like this with like A2 size envelopes. I've made it with 5x7 envelopes. I have even made it with number 10 size envelopes, which are the larger ones that I use for the hot cocoa pockets that I get from Dollar Tree. So you can pretty much make any size. Super fun. And again, the fun part too is that once you glue it all together, you can decorate it, which is what I'm doing right now. So I noticed I still had several of these little cut aparts left. So I am just kind of trying to see where I can add some in. Now, the neat thing is that afterwards, you can actually stuff some of these in the little pockets. You can put goodies. So this is a great project to send some happy mail to a friend, or to send little pictures or any little goodies. You could put little items in there. They don't even have to be flat as long as they fit in the pocket, because again, you can end up having this little mini album kind of chunky. You could use it as a true album and add pictures and add journaling spots. The sky's the limit with this. You can do it pretty much any which way you want. So you see here, I ended up using up all the 12x12 sticker sheet and the one little puffy sticker that I had left. I do have just a few cut aparts, some ephemera, some paper, and then I realized I had not used any of the chipboards, and I decided I wanted to add a little bit more dimension to the front. So I went ahead and added just a little bit of, or a few of the chipboard pieces to my front cover, just to kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz. And again, you could add these chipboards to the inside if you wanted to make it chunkier, or you could just leave it for the cover, or you don't have to add them at all. You can leave it more flat. It's totally up to you. Super fun, just an overall fun project. And you believe it or not, but this actually does use up a ton of supplies, because you are decorating and using your supplies to make the envelopes, and it's just super, super fun. And then you can stuff extra items into the pockets. So again, this was our Echo Park Club EP. This is project number 5. This is a mini envelope album. This collection is Pool Party by Echo Park. I will have all the other videos that are in this series linked down below, all the other tutorials, and I'll have some close-up pictures on my Instagram, which is Party Planner Papery. Stay tuned for the final projects videos that I'll have next. Thanks for visiting, everyone. Hope you subscribe, like this video, follow me on Instagram, and as always, happy crafting.